There we go, There we go. Colby, Cindy, Shane.
Hi there, everyone.
What's up?
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Are we back?
Yes.
So exciting, though, to listen to you two talk about it. So the Holzer files is so crazy, right? So you guys go into this blindly. I guess what I'm curious, which I know a lot of listeners would be curious about, Cindy, as a medium, I know that how you get that information. But Shane, you know, how do you guys technically put it all together? Like, how do you connect your logical side of your mind with what we would perceive that medium side, Shane? How do those two worlds blend for you, since you need to have the facts?
Well, we are really lucky nowadays because of the technological advances that we have. We've got cameras, we've got different pieces of equipment that could test the environment that you're in. So if we have somebody that says, hey, when I go into this certain room, I get cold spots in certain areas, right? We've got equipment now that'll be able to test that and kind of validate what they're going through. So really, with the technological advances we have, it's making it more and more easier every time we go to be able to validate those experiences. And a lot of times, especially in the case files that we do, sometimes we go off of what Cindy says, right? Because we don't know about this stuff until later on when we talk to the historian. So sometimes we go off of what she says, and that takes us down a rabbit trail, and then we go and get other pieces of the puzzle.
Have you ever, either of you, Cindy or Shane, honestly, have you ever gone into a place and been afraid and said, "Oh, I don't want this gig today. I don't want to go in here"? Has that happened?
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, as a medium, and Colby, you can relate, like, you know, if we were afraid of ghosts, we wouldn't be able to be mediums, right? So it's like, I can feel things and like, I don't really like the vibe of this space, but I have to go in because that's part of my job, especially doing paranormal investigation. But definitely there are certain places. There's one case that we did in season 2. By the way, season 2 airs on Thursday night, 11 p.m. Travel Channel, 11 p.m. Eastern time at the Holzer Files. Thursday night is the season 2 premiere. But anyway, on season 2, there's one location that we went to. It was in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's not the first one. It's not the season premiere. Shane, what was the name of the other place that we went to where the case with Dave, where he was really emotional about with it? It was the case around his daughter, right? What was the name of that place?
Franklin Castle.
Franklin Castle. Yes, Franklin Castle. I'm the worst at remembering the names of the locations. So Franklin Castle, that place, I will say, I walked into that place and I was like, this place is messed up. I do not like this place. And I really did want to leave and not have to go back. But again, like, you know, we have to as part of the job.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you enjoying, though, kind of sharing the truths, right? Sharing Holzer's truths about the discoveries and almost proving it, taking it a step further. Doesn't that make it feel good to kind of share that with people?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're blessed. We're blessed because we're a unique show in that we've got a really good, solid foundation, right?
Yeah.
So Hans Holzer, he had this solid foundation in his case files. He did a lot of research, a lot of study, and he was very meticulous in what he did. So we have those case files now that helps us. And, you know, whenever we go to these places, we find out that during the time he was right on it, and we add more to it later on. And it's an honor to be a part of a show like this.
Yeah.
Cindy,
and,
have
you know,
you,
as a medium,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Have you connected to Holzer? It's hard with the Zoom. Have you connected with Holzer?
You know, there was one case that we were on where I did feel his presence. But what's interesting is normally, and this is what I appreciate about the fact that I get to go in and work on cases that other mediums have been on, normally when I'm feeling somebody connected to the case, I'm actually feeling the presence of the other mediums that have worked on the cases. And in season 1 in Metuchen, New Jersey, there was a case where I actually connected in with the medium who had worked on that case prior, and she was helping me with the case. And that's happened a few times. So while I do believe Hans is around, I tend to connect in more with the mediums that worked on the case before me, and really fun. And it's been really cool as a medium and an honor and a privilege to be able to go into these locations and get information and then see, did the mediums 50 years ago get the same thing that I'm getting? And a lot of times we're picking up on the same thing. So it's just been really fun to be a part of the show, because as you know, Colby, you're in the mediumship world, right? I always say, like, the mediumship world and the paranormal world, although they're under the same umbrella, they're kind of separate, you know, like I don't know
Yes.
that many mediums, at least in the community that we are in, that do paranormal.
Yes.
So yeah.
So what's exciting? So you've got Thursday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Travel Channel. We've got a premiere going on, the Holzer Files. Anything that the fans cannot look forward to. Any little snip.
Pull it off, Colby. Am I in the hizzy? Am I in the ghost
Yeah,
hizzy?
we can
cat?
hear you, Susan.
Hear me?
Yes.
I've got it. I'm tossing this microphone, by the way. This thing's, it's haunted. So, what a great interview. Exactly what I would have said, but better, because Colby can really get in there. Now, I'm sure you guys have explained the whole system. It's an amazing show. Everybody needs to watch it. But what I wanted to know was, you know, some of your cool ghost stories, like where, I mean, usually during the show, they'll be walking in the dark and all of a sudden Cindy will go, "What the bleep?" And that happens quite a bit because it scares her. It scares her. And I legitimately know that Cindy Kaza has slept in my pool house, which was haunted, and she's able to shut everything out. But these are some serious moments, and I'd like to hear like the ones that really made your skin sort of crawl a little bit.
Yeah, you know, there's so many different cases. Like all of the cases have a different energy. So I'm trying to think of like what's the scariest place that we've been as a team. They're just all so different. Like honestly, I will say, like I was saying before, Flynn Castle, that's going to be in season 2. That place was really interesting. And you know, something maybe interesting for mediums that are watching this stream, and Colby, this might be interesting for you too, but like, you know, what I found in some of these cases is that I'd walk in and be picking up on like all of this stuff, and especially in Franklin Castle, like I was like, how could so many tragedies be happening in one place? And what it turns out is I was picking up on all of the stories that have been told about the place that were leaving imprints on the building that had created their own energy. Because right, like thoughts are energy. And so they can create almost their own thing. So it's pretty interesting, some of the things that happened. And there was also in this season, I'm trying to think, like some of the cases that we did, we were on some plantations, some old plantations, and I'm gonna tell you, like the energy was really, really intense. And Shane had a really crazy experience in a well on one of those locations. So Shane, you want to tell us about that?
In this new season or last season?
This new season. Yeah. So, and that particular episode, I get sent down I think it's a 12 or 14-foot well, with a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm one hand, I'm climbing down this ladder, and the other hand, I've got all my equipment and cameras and stuff. There was one way in and one way out. So if you've ever watched the show before, sometimes you see me run out of a room. Well, that would have not been possible at all, because I'm getting older. It's not a good situation at all. And that was intense because I was hearing footsteps in that little tunnel well thing that I was in, and I was hearing conversations down there with me, and there was nothing I could do about it except be there and kind of hope that I survive.
Poor Shane. Everybody go to Shane's website and buy his merch. It says "Poor Shane."
Hey, I gotta benefit from this somehow, right? I mean, hashtag Poor Shane thing happened. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. You guys want a shirt? I'll wear it too.
Okay, but are you saying that you're a little bit psychic or clairvoyant yourself?
Some
He
people,
is.
even Cindy has said that, but I just, how I investigate is I try to open myself up and kind of get in the moment and try to feel how those spirits would have felt. Like if there's a spirit that's trapped there, how would they be feeling at this moment? And I open myself up that way. And when I do, sometimes some crazy things happen.
Yeah.
When you're standing in the
I
dark
think
in a
Shane is way
tunnel
more
underneath a
psychic.
well,
No,
they put you
Shane's
in
way
some
more psychic
predicaments.
than he realizes.
So, what I want to know is like when you go home, Cindy, at night, how do you shake these spirits? Do they stay with you, or do they, show up in your backyard occasionally, or is it just sort of like you're good and you're out when it's done? Like I know you have a good way of shutting it off, but because I know you well enough, you don't always talk to dead people like constantly. Some people can't do that.
Thank
But
God.
have you had any experiences like that where you're like, oh wow, look, the lady followed me home?
Well, that's interesting that you say that, Susan, because normally I do feel like I'm able to shut it off and I just kind of go about my business. My energy might be a little bit drained, so I'll like sage or cleanse myself. But I was just telling this story the other day. I have a friend in Indonesia who's like an amazing trance medium, and so she has no idea what locations we're at. Like lives in Indonesia, so she sends me this message on WhatsApp. She's like, "Hey Cindy, I need to talk to you. I think that there's like this woman following you from a location." I'm like, "Really?" And I was like, "Sure." So she calls me and she goes, "Yeah, like seriously, there's a woman following you," and her brother is this artist people. So she's like, "Look, I'm feeling this woman, like she feels like you didn't finish telling her story, and here's a picture of what my brother saw around you." And it was crazy. It was exactly like Shane saw this picture the other day. It was almost like he had drawn like in more of a kind of cartoon version of this image that we had of this exact woman, like standing the same way, wearing the same clothes. Like it was insane, and
Oh my
they have
God.
no knowledge of where we've been. Yeah, it was. Isn't
Right.
that crazy,
That's
Shane,
so
when you saw
great.
that picture?
Oh yeah, it was crazy. The pose was the same. Everything about that picture was the same. I couldn't believe it when I
That's
saw it.
awesome. So let's have
Yeah.
her on the show too. Okay, so
Oh, she's great. Yeah,
we've
she's great.
had, I don't know, there's a lot of people on the Restream here, and um, um, here's a question: how do y'all know that a spirit isn't misleading you? Because evil beings and other spirits as well can imitate people really good. Can you feel the difference?
Yeah, that happens. That happens in Holzer files, right? Like I've seen like what I thought was, for example, a little boy, and I was like, oh no, that's not a little boy. That's something mimicking a little boy. And so yeah, it does. Um, most time you start to feel the difference or see the shift, but of course, like sometimes you don't know or you can misinterpret, and it. But all of those things are possible. Absolutely.
Well, do they always put you in the dark? Because I always see glowing eyeballs and your eyelashes are glowing. That's about it. Like, I don't know. Do you put those on yourself? Because I cannot do that. They always have you in the dark. I mean, it's like, it's got to be scary. But so what was the most famous spirit that you've met, like in the history of the Holzer files?
Breaking up.
I know the spirits are being dicks today. Okay, I just want to say that I apologize. This doesn't happen except for on my show. So, okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna have Colby. Yeah, I assume Colby's there because like now I can't see it on any of the platforms.
Oh, I'm here.
I'm a little. Oh, hi,
I'm here.
Colby.
Hi.
Thanks for coming and being the host when I was being shut out by the gods.
That's all
Okay,
right. We
so
got it.
I think it would be really cute if you would give Shane a psychic reading. Could you handle that?
I can handle it.
Oh,
Shane, are you
goody.
up for it?
I mean, I
Sure, let's
know
go.
you know Cindy so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Colby Colby is an amazing medium too. So I want you to see
That's
another medium that'll probably blow your mind because she's spectacular. So I thought maybe it'd be kind of cute to do that before you guys go and we take callers.
Cool.
So I mean, I'm sorry everything's been. This is an example of my show. It never fails. It's just one big electronic. I mean, Shane, before we get your reading, tell me if your electronics just go haywire, shut off, the sound doesn't work. Like it would be fine, like all day long, and then the minute you see it go, it's like all of a sudden the mic goes out, and I'm using my earbuds now. I don't know what it sounds like, but I'm sure there's a little lag. But it's just like, thank God I had my earbuds because the mic's blown up. I don't know what happened to it, you know. But tomorrow it'll look
it
fine.
happens all the time. It happens all the time, more than you think. So don't worry about it. We're good.
all
I'm not
right.
crazy.
So I'll dive in. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. And then I have a feeling Shane is pretty modest, Cindy. So if I say something that connects and you know it to be true, you just chime in for him. All right. I feel like, Shane, just kind of tuning in because I don't know you, buddy, but I feel like as soon as I tune into you, you're crazy sensitive. Like you're really kind of romantic. I feel like you're very thoughtful. I think you're really you take into consideration other people's feelings a lot. Like I feel like, you know, you have this sensitivity to you that not maybe everybody knows or recognizes. Would you understand that?
I think so. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And I see you, you know, of course we know what you do on the show. And we know, you know, there's that logical side of you, as we said. But I also think, I don't know if it's that you're a little OCD or you like things really neat, but I keep feeling like you like things in their particular place and we better not touch it or we better not move it. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, great.
That's funny.
And I also feel like, I almost like, do you clean the house or does your wife make you clean the house or there's something around cleaning your own house?
My wife wouldn't think I clean the house. I should do it more. I think I should do it a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay, because I do feel like you contribute, though. I feel like it's a really good relationship. I feel like you two really work hard to kind of keep that understanding, to keep that commitment. And I feel like there's children around you. So would I be correct that you have children? Do you have two children so far, Shane?
I have 4.
Oh, okay, got it. I wonder, are there 2 and 2? I'm just curious of the genders.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
2 boys, 2 girls.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. So so this is really fun. I'm sure the house is really fun. But again, there's a sense around you too where I feel like you wear your heart on your sleeve. So, you know, you're a really hard worker, but there's something about truth for you, something about integrity. Like you can't do something unless you feel really truthful in that moment about it. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, great. And then did you happen to get a new tattoo or did you get a Holzer Files tattoo or something like this?
Not a Holzer Files tattoo, but yeah, I've got a new back tattoo, yeah.
Yeah, that's what,
But
yeah,
Shane-
because I kept kind of.
But hold on. Colby, I'm going to help you. Shane, remember when you were telling me what you and Dave plan on doing?
Oh yeah. So well, that is bizarre. So me and Dave were talking about from each location that we were going to get a small tattoo that signified each case that we've been on. So yeah, that is
wow.
pretty wild.
Yeah, very
Well,
cool.
you guys
'cause
are going to be in season for a long time, and I think your whole body's going to be covered if you go with that. Just be careful what you wish for.
I'm good with that.
It's a good
I'm
show.
good with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm
He's gonna have a
whole
whole
tattoos.
You what, Cindy?
Oh, she's
Oh,
frozen.
Cindy. Okay. Cindy,
can't
did you
hear
say you're
you.
not giving
It
up
keeps
on your
cutting out.
tattoos? Oh.
No, I said I'm getting all my tattoos removed while all of my my co-stars are going to be branding themselves in Holzer Files.
There we go. There we go. And then the other thing, Shane, so what I see for you, listen, so we've got the Holzer files. I do think that that's going to keep you really busy for a while, of course. But I also feel like after this, I think that there's a point where you write a book. So if you're not physically writing it, you're getting someone to collaborate with a book or telling the stories. I feel like there's something about this, and they just gave me goosey. So does that make sense?
Yeah,
Have you thought about this?
I'm writing 2 already. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
2 are in process already. Yep.
Yay,
Oh, nice.
Great. Awesome. Very cool. So the other thing now, not to create fear, although I don't know how much I can in your industry, but when you get to see what I'm about to say, you'll understand why. I need you to keep an eye on your equipment. I don't know if you misplace it or someone picks it up somewhere. So, you know, if you're in airports or anything, I just want you to keep an extra eye on your equipment. It feels like it gets in vulnerable states at sometimes.
Okay. All right. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Don't be too trusting. Don't be loosey-goosey with the equipment. Because honestly, we could get rid of a lot of things, but if someone misplaced your equipment, you're not going to be nice about it.
No, I wouldn't be. You're right.
No.
So tell us exactly, really quick, like, I don't know if I missed this while I was figuring out my audio, but tell us exactly what is entailed with all your equipment, or, unless you already mentioned it, because I'm kind of a techie person, so I like to know. And I'm thinking, I mean, you know, you've heard about these like ghost meters and stuff.
Well, so we've got tons of cameras that I use, especially in season 2. There's some new equipment that you're going to see on the camera side of things. Rad 559 and something called a track cam. So it's cameras that deal with 3D mapping, LiDAR technology. So it's really state-of-the-art equipment that I use in some of these locations. Then I've got audio recorders and things that test the atmosphere. So your thermal cameras, your triboelectric meters, which test static electricity, your EMF meters, stuff like that. So I have all of that, and I use these pieces of equipment basically is case-by-case basis. So whatever the experiencers are saying is happening to them, that's when I go and kind of evaluate which type of equipment I'm going to use.
That's awesome. So the thermal camera, that's the one that like you can see the ghosts in the dark, and then you have some kind of a, like, I don't know, thing where you can hear the electronic fields, or if there's something in the room.
Yeah, so the thermal camera tests temperature. It shows temperature variations on screen. So you'll see different colors light up on the screen that'll tell you if it's hotter in that environment or if it's colder in that environment. So that's good to use whenever people are saying there's cold spots in this area, or if you're pointing the camera at them and somebody's saying, I feel cold on my arm. You can take the thermal camera and you can see that in real time and judge if that's really happening or not, or what's going on. And then the recorders just help us with electronic voice phenomenon. So if we hear anything on the recorders that we're not hearing in real time, we know that we have to evaluate that further and see what's going on.
So you can listen to that later, it's like a tape that, you know, certain people can pick up sounds on their phone and get voices and things like that. So you can listen to it, play back later.
Absolutely.
So
that's it.
So I also am a big fan of the Ghost Brothers.
I love the Ghost Brothers.
Love them.
They have like what do they use? A little, like, I can't remember what they call them. The ghost meters. They kind of go zzz, and they go around. Oh my God, that guy cracked me up. But do you believe in that, or what do they call them? I can't remember the name, but they have
the Mel
they're
meter.
like they're trackers. So
is it the Mel meter? Like,
I don't know.
Oh yeah, so
a
Mel meter. A Mel meter makes noise. I'd have to see which piece of equipment they use, but yeah, I really love the Ghost Brothers, and I think they're excellent investigators. They're really funny guys too. Really funny guys.
Colby, have you seen the Ghost Brothers?
No. But Shane,
Okay, so
I am kind of. Well, I just wanted to ask Shane a quick question.
SUV. Wait. And then they open the back and they pull out this like big case full of all these gadgets. It's just adorable. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Shane, I wanted to just, if I'm kind of curious. So if it reads the temperature, okay, as a
Yep.
medium, and I think Cindy, I would assume, I don't know, Cindy has this too, that when you're starting to work, so when a medium starts to work, they get hot. Like I'll start to sweat, I'll get hot, my fingertips will get ice cold. So when you read the room, when Cindy comes in, because she's connected now, right? Her vibration is up. Can you read that? Like, can you actually like vibrationally kind of see that her vibration's up per the body?
Yeah. Yeah, and a really good example of this is in season 1. So if you watch the Metuchen, New Jersey episode, it's the Ayers Allen house. And Dave had the thermal camera, and Cindy was saying, well, I feel like a tightness on my throat. There's something going on. Well, in real time, we were able to see that because the thermal camera had a white ring around her neck that was appearing at the same time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I love technology so much, is because we have things now that can test in real time and kind of validate a lot of people's experiences and kind of add to our cases that way. So I love what I do,
Such a phenomenon.
Yeah, it's fun. I wish I could do that. It'd be so fun. I'd love to tell you, be your intern. So I love that stuff. I like it when it works. Okay.
One thing that I noticed watching a couple of the episodes that I really like, is there just seems to be healing. So even though we've got this paranormal and we've got this crazy stuff and these hauntings and this, there seems to be resolution at the end of it. It seems like, you guys through your investigative work, Cindy through your connection, you're able to give that spirit some peace, like validation, or that they've been heard. And it just kind of seems to, goosebumps. Like, I just feel like the spirit world must appreciate all this hard work as well that you put into it.
And I hope so, because I always say that, as my job is a living, it's working for people on the other side. So we're hopefully doing a service for people in both dimensions, right? So, I mean, that's all part of it. And when you go into these locations and you feel the of these souls that there's like this. Colby and I trained in the same church, right? Like, so spirits, right? The earthbounds, energetically, to me, it's that there are spirits that are, very impressed upon this dimension. So they're still on the other side, but they're very impressed upon this dimension and wanting to be attached to earthly things. They still have unfinished business. So as mediums, we can walk in and feel these souls that, they just need somebody to listen to their story. They need somebody to hear them so they can understand that it's okay for them to move beyond, to go to this layer, whatever you call it, right? So even though sometimes we're not always able to bring closure to people in the living from these spirits, we can bring some peace to the spirits, instead, or both, hopefully both. So I think that that's kind of an important thing to look at. Anybody that's a medium that's going into doing paranormal.
Cindy, do you think that a lot of the entities that you've come in contact with on the Holzer files are actually ghosts in transition that haven't transited, or are they just spirits that are able to bring their energy back and because of the trauma of their passing or whatever it is? I mean, do they, like,
well, see,
some people have...
That's where it gets tricky with the terminology, ghosts versus spirits. All spirits, right? They're all souls. And so again, like, some people will say, well, a ghost is somebody trapped in the third dimension, earthbound. And I don't necessarily think is trapped in the third dimension. What I do think is that there's a soul that's gone to the fourth dimension, but is very impressed upon the third dimension and attached to earthly things and unable to recognize that there's another option on the other side. So it's like, to me, I don't say ghost versus spirit. They're all souls.
I'm sorry you're breaking up a lot. I think the spirits really want to get through on your phone. They're really messing with you. So, is there anything
Am I
else that
breaking
you
up?
want to clear? Yeah, you're like, blah, 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 blah. I'm hoping that a voice comes through and just goes, I love you, Cindy. It's just, it's so fascinating, and the show is really a hit, and it's well produced, and it's super funny at times, and it's a little scary at times. The history is really amazing. There are a lot of places in this world that are really interesting that have a life inside of them that none of us can see, but we feel. But you guys really have been able to capture the whole feeling of living with ghosts. It's just phenomenal, and I'm so excited for this season. But I'm gonna let you guys tell everybody where to find you, and then I'm gonna have Colby take a couple of phone calls because we have some people waiting on the line. They really want to get a psychic reading, and then hopefully we'll make it through the whole show without anything else going down. But do you guys have anything else that you want to add? Any more good? Well, somebody said that I didn't let you answer the question. What was your most famous ghost? I mean, obviously not celebrity, but as far as being able to connect with somebody on the show, or maybe, I don't know, if nobody, then maybe your most famous ghost.
I don't know. I mean, Holzer Files. Gosh, season 2. You got to watch season 2 because we went to some pretty cool locations. I'll leave that for
I think
season 2.
I think Holzer doesn't want you to give out too much information. He keeps screwing up your line. He's being careful, but we don't want to have any spoiler alerts. But do see the season, and I love the fact that we got to talk to the techie who keeps everything in line over there. It's just fascinating, and hope you guys got some really interesting spirits this year. And Thursday we'll all be watching with you at what time?
11 p.m. Eastern time.
Season 1.
Cindy.
Yep. Season
Yeah. So
2, 11 p.m. Eastern Thursday.
So it's Thursday night. I'll answer for it because they told me earlier. It's Thursday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's on the Travel Channel.
Yes. And you can find a lot of great shows on that channel. So, and Shane, thanks again for coming, and I hope that Colby's reading will make you feel good about yourself.
Well,
oh yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're right
welcome.
on it, Colby. You're right on it.
We're gonna have baby number 5 though. Can I just share that?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I get a Shane t-shirt if that happens. Sound fair? Is that a good deal?
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I think you have 10 tattoos from the last season. You're going to have 10 tattoos from this season, and you're probably going to have 10 tattoos from the season after that. So
I'll have 13. I'll have 13 this season. 13.
Oh, is it 13? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Well, we're very happy for you guys, and keep up the hard work, and hopefully everybody will get a little scared on Thursday, and every Thursday, 11 o'clock, we'll be tuning in. Thanks again for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And you can find Cindy at
Thank you.
Medium City Kaza, and also Shane at, oh gosh, what was it? It's under his name.
Starring
I can't
Shane.
see it though.
Starring Shane.
Starring Shane. So good. Thank God. And just have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Y'all
guys.
too.
Congratulations. Bye, you guys.
Thanks, Colby.
All right, so Colby's just got like 20 minutes or so before she has to go teach her spirit classes, and she does that all the time. She takes care of all the other clairvoyant mediums in the areas, and it's just really interesting how this whole thing works. So we have somebody who actually, okay, Kendra. Hi, Kendra. Welcome to Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. How are you? Oops. Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna,
Oh,
is that better? I just unhooked from my Bluetooth, so.
okay. Hi, how are you? Thanks for calling in. So she has
I'm
a
good.
question.
How are you guys doing? I'm so excited
Oh,
to
we're
talk to all
good.
of you.
doing great,
Oh, good. So
Kendra.
anyway,
Hi.
she wants to know, can her family members who have passed, her grandmother included, help her make a decision?
Honestly, Kendra, they can. It's not like you go to a medium and the medium tells you that they tell you to do this. I feel like, they empower you to make your own decisions, but what I do feel like you can ask them, like you say, make it simple for them, right? Like, hey, Graham, if I'm supposed to do this, can you show me this symbol or give me this sign within the next day or two? And then you pay attention to see, or you could say, if it's a yes, give me this sign. If it's a no, give me that sign. And then just see what you get in the next day or two. Like, there's ways like that where I feel like they will absolutely help you make those decisions. They won't make decisions for you, right? Because we all need to be empowered to make our own decisions. But I do feel like they will help you kind of figure your way in that decision making, 100%.
Okay, I wanted to clarify on the question because the question was more towards my gift. Do they recommend which one I should do? Because I was told it was on the family line. So is it all of the above? Or, is that something you're referring to as in the answer you just gave me?
Well, it's with your gift, along the family line, I feel like, honestly, what I would suggest, I would suggest going to spirit. Like for me, Kendra, just from personal experience, I do a lot of sort of things. I study crystals and healing. I know animal communication, but I really went to spirit and I said, Spirit, if I'm to be of service, how would you like for me to work? Do you know what I'm saying? So if your gifts are your healing, are they healing gifts? They feel healing gifts. So I'm just curious, is it your psychic and your mediumship and your healing gifts, or are you referring to other gifts, honey?
No, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
I'm working with a teacher right now, and it's kind of covering the realm of everything and to work with, and she's from Travel Channel, so, and
yes.
I love the class, but she is offering different classes, and I was kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, it is a healing.
Yeah.
It's all of. I'm a knower. I'm a healer, and I definitely want to do the mediumship. So I was just curious because I know you said grandmother. I knew my grandmother was going to be there, but it was more towards that realm.
Yeah, so what it is, though, honestly, though, it's about going to spirit. Even in the living, your grandmother's not going to say, you need to follow in my footsteps, right? Your grandmother's going to say, do what fills your heart. Do what makes you dance. Do what makes you feel good. They're going to be supportive. So I recommend going to source, going to spirit, and saying, how would you like for me to be of service? Because that is where you're going to feel the most fulfillment.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've been told it was. I want the mediumship. That's where.
Yeah. Then you don't even need to ask your grandmom or anyone. You already know the answer.
Okay. No. So yeah. I didn't even know it ran in the family line. I was recently told that. So. Yeah. And so it was kind of shocking to hear that.
Yes.
But it was interesting, And I do have a mentor class coming up or appointment.
Perfect.
So, I would like to know if she feels that I'm good for that. If because I'm kind kind of all three. I just know.
Just go for it, honey. Just go for it.
Take Colby's class.
Just go for it. Just go for it. You seem to love your teacher.
Yes.
You know it's mediumship. Just go for it, sweetheart. You'll be happy.
Colby has great classes too.
Then Cindy.
Wait, listen, we got to take another call. Oh, sorry.
Cindy's not here, honey. She's gone. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know, we had to let her go.
Did they have any messages? Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, we can't take questions for Cindy now because she's gone. We kind of ran out of time messing with the sound, but we pulled it off somehow. Okay, so I'm going to talk to Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hi there. Hi.
How are you?
Hi there.
Okay.
Good. Excited that I got to get through. I was wondering if Colby, if you hear anybody or coming through for me, or if you
Is there
could do
anyone
a
in
quick
particular?
reading.
Anyone in particular
Well,
you want, honey? Because
I would love to talk to Nadine. She was my mother-in-law, or Melinda, my cousin, or my dad, Bob.
okay, got it. Okay, perfect.
I try to channel them all the time, but it's not working, except in my dreams.
Well, channeling them is different than connecting with them. I would just try connecting with them rather than channeling them, sweetheart. That might be easier, right? Okay. Channeling is giving them to come in through you, right? So just connect with them, and you'll probably be able to do that a lot easier. Okay. There's something, the first thing I saw, it was interesting. So I saw men's footsteps. This definitely makes me feel like this is your father. And it's kind of like, I feel like he had a sense of authority. You know, like I felt like, either you heard his footsteps before he came in, or when we heard his footsteps, we'd be on guard a little bit. He seems to just be a man that deserves authority or respect. Does that make sense?
Yes, when I was a kid, especially.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I feel like too, like, I don't know if it's just that you have a sister or a sibling, because I could just feel that, you'd be in cahoots with something you weren't necessarily supposed to be doing, or you're supposed to be in bed, and then, and he would come up and be like, uh-oh. But I get this sense around him. He definitely feels like a family guy to me, though. Am I correct with this? Because I get a feeling like he's a strong family guy. He's a strong wanting people around.
He's a Cancer. So, yeah.
Okay. And there's also, would I be correct? Your dad showed me a watch, sweetheart. So would you happen to have a watch from your dad, or you understand the significance of a watch with him?
Not specifically a watch that I could think of offhand, but a lot of jewelry. He was a mountain man, so he had all this jewelry and things that
got it.
That he gave me. But I was also wondering if he is aware that my brother has cancer and my sister had a heart attack. So that weighs heavily on my mind. And I was just wondering if he was, I have tons of dragonflies in the backyard, and I feel like
definitely. So let me do this for you. Otherwise, you're just gonna do your whole reading yourself, right? So let me drive in. Let me get in here to talk to him. Okay. All right. It's like the last caller. You don't even need me. You're good. You got this.
Okay, awesome. You show about being a psychic.
So the thing is, of course he knows. Of course he knows about. He knows about his son. He knows about his daughter. He can't cure them, but he can certainly send them love, and he sends them support. And I don't know. You should find out about the watch. Maybe it's that your brother wears. You should see if your brother has a watch, or he's wearing a watch, because then that would be unbelievable evidence that your dad's around him during this, right? Because there's definitely this thing where I feel like, it's interesting because your dad was a healer, that's the crazy part. So we go, gosh, if dad were here, he could help with this. But I do feel like he's doing everything from his side to give that love, to give that power, to give that strength to all of you, not just your siblings, but to you as well, because you're holding a lot on your shoulders and you're taking in a lot of that responsibility on your own. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like your dad, I feel like, honestly, your dad had this understanding of death. I really just feel like he did. He understood the path of death. He understood the transition. So for him, although, his children are transitioning, he also understands what's waiting for them on the other side. Do you know what I'm saying? He understands that, and I guess I meant to, I'm not sure if you said this or not, and I certainly didn't mean to, your brother is in dire, I feel like is in a major battle. And so, I feel like your dad is aware of this, but your dad also knows what's waiting for them on the other side, okay?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And it's about, I know you want to be there, but it's about not taking not taking on that responsibility. You have to let them have their journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm even trying to get space right now, so
yes.
His wife was diagnosed with cancer at the same time, breast cancer, but she's okay.
Yeah.
So, we both found that it is part of the journey.
It's part of the journey, and I feel like your dad respected and honored that. Okay, honey? So I do hope that helps. We're going to try to get in, I think, one other caller or two before I got to go, right, Susan? Or what do you want?
Oh, yeah, whatever you want to do. I have about.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Does that help?
I'm so sorry about what you're going through. It sounds really difficult right now, but just remember that there is light on the other side, definitely.
Okay.
So it's a good message. And
you got this.
I'm sorry, but Shelley has a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Shelley. Hi, Shelley.
Hello? Hi, am I there?
How are you? Yes, so Shelley wants to know how psychic mediums find out so quickly who the spirit is when they've passed so long ago.
Yeah,
Shelley, I'm not sure if you're listening to the show, but can you lower your volume? Shelley, are you?
Yeah, turn your volume down on your computer because it's reverbing.
Sure. Is that better?
Okay, so yes, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, so how do mediums know so quickly? So what happens is when we're connecting our vibration, we expand our aura, right? We kind of expand our aura out and spirit touches in. And it's really about asking them, who are you? And they'll tell you. They'll say, oh, and we get a sense. It's not always 100%, right? Because she may come in and say mother or grandmother, and it's a great grandmother, right? It could be, but they'll tell you who they are. They give you a sense of who they are. You can also, they may show you a little bit of what they're wearing, and that gives you a bit of a time frame of when they were here. So it's absolutely about that communication that we've got to say, hey, who are you? And that's how they talk. So we can hear them. We can feel them. We can see them. A lot of times I'll get the impression within my body of the relationship to the sitter or the receiver. So those are the ways that we know who that spirit is.
So if you're like, for example, with myself, I will get tingling and I will know that there is somebody there and that there's somebody with me. But if I try and ask in my head who it is, I can never seem to get the answer.
Okay, got it. It could be that remember to I'm going to try to explain this, right? Because it's interesting you said if I ask with my head, because to me that's bringing you back into the consciousness, right? So try to have that conversation within your telepathy. Try to have it, do you see pictures inside your eye? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you see them inside your mind of pictures?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, and you get that tingling, which is a feeling on the inside. So try that with the conversation. So just kind of, what I want you to do is, rather than saying, who are you, and expecting to hear a voice back, it could be, get a feeling, get a feeling if you feel male or female. Just start with that. Oh, I feel it's a female, or I feel it's a male. Then get into your clairsentience. Does it feel like a mother? Does it feel like a sister? Does it feel like a friend or an aunt or a teacher? Try your clairsentient to see if you can kind of connect that way to it.
Okay. I'll certainly try that. Thank you so much for the tips. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. It could just be that within your clairaudience, or you're getting too into your head with it. You get too worried, or you wait too long. You just got to practice it.
It's difficult.
Yeah, just keep practicing. It's so common. I promise you. You keep dedicating and getting to it, and it will just kind of start opening up for you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Your talk was great today.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay,
how about one more, Susan? We can get in one more here. Let's do it.
This is a good one. Everybody wants to be a clairvoyant medium today. I can't, it's good. It's interesting. Okay. Hi, Ariel. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Hi there.
Hey, can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Yeah, what can we do for you
today? Am I coming through?
Yes.
I was just wondering if maybe I could get some guidance. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. I had recently moved back in with my parents and just trying to figure out my next steps from here.
Okay, got it. I feel like, Ariel, is there something around relationship as well for you, sweetheart? Okay, because I felt like either we had to get away from a relationship, or, you know what I'm saying? Is that correct?
I had actually got away from a relationship within the last few months.
Yeah, perfect. That's what I was feeling. So a couple things, because let me just tell you, Ariel, a couple things. This is about holding your boundaries. I know you're not super excited to move back in with your parents, but it is what it is. So let's talk about why. So there's definitely something around boundaries for you, okay? There's something with that past relationship. It's really important. I can't tell you what to do, but it feels like getting out of that relationship is really the right move. So although that person may tempt you to come back in, or they may try to pull you back in, I would encourage you to stay strong through this difficult time, okay? I feel like there's also, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, honey.
Oh, I was going to say, because I'm kind of involved with somebody else right now. I recently got out of a relationship, and then now I'm kind of involved with somebody else.
Okay, great. But let me just say, this old one, I just feel like this person's going to come back, or they're going to try to text you, or they're going to reach out. They just, they don't feel super done. So just hold your boundaries with it. Okay?
Okay, cool. That is actually yes.
Okay, so now moving forward, I do feel like it's also, we got to start working on career a bit. Your career doesn't feel settled to me. Do you understand that? Like I don't feel super settled in this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got to kind of.
I feel like. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just piggybacking on that, the career part. You're absolutely right about that. That's kind of a part that a big thing that's going on with me right now. I don't know what to do.
Okay, well, it definitely, you're breaking away from one. You're kind of breaking away from the old, going towards the new. But I feel like with the new, I just feel like I want to encourage you to study it a bit more, really kind of get yourself under you so you build your confidence with it. And then it's time to really start putting it out there, okay? Because it really feels like, see, they're even ringing bells for you.
I have something really funny Drew, can you get
It
that?
is
I have
time.
something funny. I'm going to tell you something right now, Colby. Somebody
Wait,
from last
that's
week.
spirit knocking at the door.
It is. I'm telling you. Now listen, I was just typing to Malia Jacobs, who was on the show last week, who, I'm not doing a show. Okay. I was just typing to a woman on Periscope who said you told her about a bell last week, right? And just as I was writing, oh, the Liberty Bell. She found a picture of her dad next to the Liberty Bell. And she was validating you from last week. Remember you said she was going to find the bell? And just as I wrote, oh, the Liberty Bell, the doorbell rang. So there you go. That is spirit knocking on the door.
Ariel, this is about you exploring your gifts as well. I think you've got the support of your family. Living with your parents helps you financially. You've got this new romance budding. So, allow yourself to play. Allow yourself to let this new self emerge. Don't hide yourself. It's time to kind of start embracing those gifts more, honey.
I feel like you know what it is that I'm kind of working towards. I've actually taken one of your workshops recently for mediumship.
Perfect. See, there you go.
Oh, good.
Right?
See, today's mediumship day.
Yeah. This is it.
The witchcraft,
so this is it.
Mika John just called it on Facebook. I'm sorry, Mika, you can unfollow now. I don't care. But I do want to say the woman with the bell is the one who was recovering from coronavirus with the horses last week. I don't know if you remember that, Colby, but good job with the bell. I'm very proud of you.
Okay.
And also
I
appreciate that Ariel is everybody wants to be a medium. We don't have a problem with it. And Colby, I guess, she does teach this, so check her out at colbyrebel.com. And also she has something coming up where she's going to be helping people with their pets.
Yeah, Pets Connect, almost sold out, but it's exciting.
Yeah, so if you want to connect with your pets, you can check her out. And then also I want to just tell everybody who put up with the crazy tech stuff tonight, you now have an example of what I go through all the time. But I think Cindy and Shane brought a lot of spirits with them today, and I think everybody was sort of connected to her abilities, and we're all so happy for her and proud of her. She's worked very hard to get these TV shows going. She's wanted this forever, and it's just so exciting for her. But and I hope that everybody can learn from this experience and embrace it, and not just say, oh, witchcraft, woo-woo crazy or whatever. There's a whole world out there of people who do this for a living and who want to, and don't be afraid. It's, and it's not scary or crazy. It's just fun. So enjoy your life and enjoy your gifts if you have them. It's a beautiful thing. But thank you, Ariel. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna
keep studying, Ariel. You got this.
Yeah, you're gonna be great.
Thank you guys so much.
You guys can always connect to Colby at colbyrebel.com if you want to get more information. That was great, Colby. It's just crazy how we have all these spiritualists coming on today. And someday the show, they're all the same type of things, but this was
spiritualists are a little different. So just to kind of help educate just for a quick second.
Okay.
So you can have psychic and mediums, okay? Mm-hmm. A psychic and a medium can be a spiritualist, but spiritualist is it's a religion, and it's also a way of life. So because someone connects to spirit doesn't make them a spiritualist. So I just, for all of those that are spiritualists, I just want to respect and kind of make sure there's a separation.
Thank you for clarifying that. That's why you get paid the big bucks. That's right. We have to make sure we get that. Yeah, I'm just an old lady who has nothing better to do than to have friends that talk to dead people. That's what I do. So, and we'll.
But that's why it's so much fun hanging out with you.
I know. Right? I love it. And Caleb, thank you for pulling this together in a jam. We turned around 2 shows today, and I don't know. It's just who knows what's
Blame the
going on
spirits,
over there.
not me.
Yeah, we literally, well, now that we're traveling, we're in quarantine to do this MTV thing, Drew is. It just, it's just kind of, I'm trying to keep the flow going. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep moving
Yeah.
forward. And I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And I know you have to go and work with some amazing people. I have guests here, and we're gonna, well, I shouldn't say that, but I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, so thank you, everybody. And thank you for calling in to Calling Out. And hopefully we'll talk again soon.
And catch the
you